Okay, it is 6:30. We're going to get started. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Street Life Committee meeting of Community Board 8. My name is Abraham Salcido, and I chair this committee. A couple of rules of the road for today. I'm going to go down the agenda and invite the applicant and their representative to introduce themselves, give their name, and a brief description of the application. For the applicants and or representatives, items that should be included in your summary is whether the space is ADA accessible, whether there have been any 311 complaints, whether there's any outdoor space, either on the sidewalk or the roadway that's intended to be used, or any backyard space, and hours of operations. That'll help with any questions that committee members might have. After the applicant and or the representative speak, I will then inquire if there's any members of the public on any of the applications. And after members of the public, I will turn to my fellow committee members for any questions, comments, or motions. A reminder that any action taken at this committee will then be voted on by the full board. The full board meeting is on Wednesday, October 18th. Additionally, when speaking, please direct all questions, comments to me as the chair. I'd like to avoid any crosstalk. Please always observe the rules of decorum. Anyone that cannot do so will not be allowed to participate any further. And with that, I will hand it over to Robert for our technical requirements.
Thank you, Abraham. Welcome. If this is your first time joining us or your first time in a long time, you'll notice that you are currently muted and everyone will remain muted throughout the meeting, except the committee chair, Abraham, and any presenters as we move through the agenda. Following the presentations, the chair, Abraham, will call members of the public wishing to speak. You can participate by going to the reactions icon on your device and pressing the raise hand feature, not the wave or the thumbs up, as those will disappear. Only press it once. If you press the second time, your hand will go back down. If you're calling in on the phone, it is *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute. Please be on the lookout for a prompt asking you to confirm unmuting once the chair calls on you. The chat is for technical support only to help with Zoom software problems. It is not to ask questions of the chair or the presenters. They will not see these chats. If you're using an older version of Zoom, you will need to go to the participant section, where you find the raise hand feature there. Please do not raise your actual hand or wave at the screen because we may not be able to see you. Chat me. I'm here for support. Abraham, back to you.
Great. Thank you, Robert. Also, one item note for if we have any members of the public that were here for the dispensary application. As you may see from the updated agenda, that application was withdrawn, so that will not be addressed today. When they choose to resume their application, they will come back to us and we will have the opportunity to discuss there. So just a note in case anyone was here for that and did not see the update that they have withdrawn their application. Okay, so with that, I will go to our first item on the agenda. Do I have the applicant for Amber New Sushi, 1406 3rd Avenue? Yes, I'm seeing Mr. Wang. Oh, I'm seeing two people, I think.
Yeah.
Hi there. Mr. Wang, introduce yourself and tell us about this application. How are you?
Yes. Yeah. So this one just changing the ownership. The Amber is there. Okay, it's around more than 15 years. So all of kept same. So nothing changing, only changing because before it's one partner. Right now they have the one partner join. So this reason we have to do the new application. So the hour will be 11 to 12 a.m. 7 days a week. Background music only. And so I'm not seeing any complaint from the community. So we are here, glad to answer any question if you have.
Okay, understood. So just to clarify, this is just a purely because of an ownership change and no change at all to the method of operation whatsoever.
Yes, right.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, first I'll invite, are there any members of the public with questions, comments on this application? Okay, I'm seeing none, in which case I will go to fellow committee members. I'm seeing Bill and Marco. Let's start with Bill and then let's go to Marco.
I'd like to put a motion to approve the application.
Great, thank you. Do I have a second? Marco seconding, and then I will go to Marco as well.
Thank you. I think, can you call the question, please?
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I can. If anyone's opposed to calling the question, letting me know. Otherwise, I'm going to do the roll, which is this is a motion to approve as presented. If anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, do let me know. And for the vote on committee members, I have Russell Squire, Robin Felix, and Marco Tamayo, John McClement, Evan Meyerson, Brian Christ as a public member, Bill Angelos, myself. I am seeing Barry. Is that Judy on as Barry, or is that Barry on as Barry?
It is Barry on as Barry.
Okay, great. Okay, so if anyone is voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, give me a sign. Otherwise, this is a 1-8-0 approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night for everyone. Thanks.
Yes,
Thank you.
Good evening. Okay, on to the next item. Do I have the representatives for 1415 Second Avenue? This is the new entity to be formed, and this is for a liquor, wine, beer, and cider application. Alex P, because I'm going to slaughter the last name, so I'm not even going to try.
That's fair. Thank you. I'm Alex. This is my wife, Brett. We're partners in entity to be formed. We filed notice. It's going to be called RJ O'Brien is the LLC. I've worked in hospitality for 20 years. Brett works in asset management, and we've lived in the neighborhood for 3 or 4 years now, and we have 2 young kids. And we are going to take over the current business. It's called Workshop. Barb been operating now for some time in the neighborhood. We are ADA accessible. No known 311 complaints. Hours of operation are going to remain the same, 5 to 1 a.m. and 12 p.m. To 1 a.m. on the weekends. Same hours of operation.
Okay, great. And are you going to be using any of the front space?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they've had cafe out there. We obviously are going to have to apply under the new law, changing post-COVID, but we intend to have, I think it's like 6 seats total out there. So not a ton of space. It's a small front.
Okay, great. We'll see you again for that when time comes. Okay, thank you very much. First, I will go to members of the public. Do I have any members of the public on this application? Okay, I'm seeing none. So I will go to my committee member, community board colleague, Marco Tamayo.
Thank you. I would like to put the motion to approve as presented.
Great. Okay, does anyone second? I guess I see a thumbs up for the second. Robin, I see your hand up. Can I go to you?
Yes, well, question, please.
Great. Okay, question has been called. Does anyone oppose calling the question? Okay, seeing none, in that case, I will go to the roll. If anyone is voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, please give me a sign. Voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining. Otherwise, this will go down as a yes vote. And again, that will be a 8-0 approval. Thank you very much, and we wish you good luck on this new venture.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. Okay, item 1C, do I have the applicant for item 1C, VLC Plaza LLC? This is an application for wine, beer, and cider.
Abraham, I just want to ask, you have Robin Seligson, John McClement, yourself, our public member Brian, Marco, Bill Angelos, Evan, and Russell, right?
Correct. That makes 8 total by my count.
Okay. Yep. I had an extra name jotted down here by mistake.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so I think we have Alfredo Mir.
I'm the founder and operator of Beef La Crepe. We have been operating in New York since 2009. We started in Soho, then we grew. Currently we're operating 2 more locations in the Upper West Side. This is a creperie. We sell French crepes and coffee mainly. We used to operate at the Plaza, but the food hall at the Plaza, but that got closed. And we're relocating. Actually, it's the same entity of that location to the Upper East Side location that's at the crossing of 70th and Lexington. The place will be similar to the ones before. We're doing probably a rebranding, but basically the same concept of French sweet and savory crepes. To the menu, we're adding gelato, so we'll have ice creams, and we also are applying for this and the other locations for the wine, beer, and cider. Cider is a really common pairing with crepes, so we would love to offer that for the neighbors later in the night. Obviously, our main business would remain the crepes, but we wanted to upgrade the offer with this, so that's why we're applying for this license. We have no complaints over the years in our other locations. Hours of operations in the other locations are 9 to 9. Here we put forth 8 to 10 p.m. We tend to do it bigger, and then as we see the public going or not going, we shrink it. So that's why application is until 10 p.m. Most probably on Sundays or during the week that should be at 9. And yeah, that's that. I think that covers it.
Okay.
That was the Sidewalk Cafe as the last applicants. We will be applying down the road, but not for the moment.
Okay, very helpful. And then of course, as you open and kind of transform that space, it will be ADA compliant, correct?
Yes, there's the main floor it will be, but there's a downstairs that with existing staircase that won't be compliant. But yeah, the first floor definitely.
Okay. Okay, then I will go to members of the public. Do I have any members of the public with questions or comments on this application? Okay, if not, then I will go to my committee member, and I have Marco.
I would like to put a motion to approve as presented.
Great, and I see a second. Okay, does anyone want to call the question? Bill?
I'd like to call the question.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, great. Does anyone oppose calling the question? Seeing none, then we'll go to the roll. If anyone's voting no, not voting for cause, or abstaining, please let me know. Voting no, not voting for cause, or abstaining. Seeing none, this will go as an 8-0 approval. Thank you very much, and good luck as you open this new establishment.
Thank you very much, and good night to everybody.
Thank you. Good night. Okay, do I have representative for item 1D? This is Aroma Indian Bistro wine, beer, cider application.
I finally got it. Okay. This is for Aurora, right? Aroma.
Yes, Aroma. Hi, how are you?
I just heard it and I gotta get off the phone. I don't know if my client is on it or not. I think I see him there.
What's your client's name?
Sunny Sagu.
Oh, I see. Is it SS165 maybe?
I see sunnysagu@gmail.com.
I'm not seeing that name. I'm gonna send the SS165 prompt. If that's Sunny.
Well, they're unmuted. Well, not anymore. But I think you should just move on.
Okay, Neil, you'll have to take this one on your own. So give us the overview of the application.
Okay. All right, so basically it was a Turkish restaurant. My client has just signed a lease for, it's called Aroma Indian Bistro, 132 East 61st Street. Basically the hours of the operation is gonna be from 11 to 10 PM, Monday through Sunday, for liquor, wine, and beer. No outdoor space, background music, no DJ. 60 chairs. 60 chairs, 7 at the bar, very nominal. Again, it's a fine dining for families. So obviously it's closing at 10 or 11 o'clock, so that's good. What else? Like I said, no DJ, nothing outside, everything is inside, recorded music.
ADA, the space will be ADA accessible or is ADA accessible compliant?
Based on I try to be there on Sunday, but he was getting the keys yesterday on Monday. But from the pictures, I see that there is a ramp that goes down as you come in.
Okay.
So I do see a picture.
Okay. Let me go to members of the public. Do I have any members of the public on this application? Seeing none, I will go to Marco Tamayo.
Yes, I would like to put a motion. The motion is to approve and then to speak.
Okay, you have a second from me and Bill. Yes, great.
Do you have any deliveries?
I do see here bicycle deliveries, yes.
Well, he answered that. Thank you. The only situation is I'm going to say the following. I mean, I don't have a problem to approve this application. This is what I recommend the approval. The main issue is right now, I don't know what's happening in the community war. Bicycles, there are more bicycles than pedestrians on the sidewalk. I cannot pinpoint any specific person. And I think we have to, and that's I would like to raise as a new business at the end of this meeting. And thank you.
Thank you, Marco. Would someone like to call a question? Okay, Bill.
I'd like to call the question.
Thank you very much. Okay, does anyone oppose calling the question?
And if I may,
Yes.
moving forward for all applicants, I will appreciate the turning of the camera when you're speaking.
Happy to make that request. Thank you, Bill. Okay, I'm going to go to the roll. This is a motion to approve as presented. If anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, please give me an indicator. Voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining. Okay, seeing none, this will go as an 8-0 approval. Thank you very much. And good evening.
Thank you.
Okay. Next applicant, do I have 1E? This is APQ 1131 Madison. APQ.
Yes, I'm Jeff, the development project manager from this location. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jeff? Are you able to come on camera?
Let me
There you are.
do so now. Hi.
Hi. Thank you very much. Tell us about your tell us your name and about the application.
Yeah, so La Pan Quotidian is a well-regarded establishment throughout Manhattan and a highly touted tenant as well. 72 indoor locations, ADA accessible, beer and wine only. Location will be closing at 7 p.m.
Okay, great. Do I have any members of the public on this application? Okay, seeing none, I will go to Marco, then to Bill.
I would like to put a motion to approve as presented.
Great. You have a second, and I'll go to Bill for the question.
Call the question.
Great. Does anyone oppose calling the question? Seeing none, I will go to the roll. If anyone's voting no, not voting for cause, or abstaining, please give me an indicator or I will put you down as a yes. No, not voting for cause or abstaining. Okay, seeing none, this will be approval. Thank you very much. 8-0, and have a good evening. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, do I have the representative or applicant for item 1F? This is 1115 Lexington Avenue.
Good afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Francisco. I'm the head of facilities with Dos Toros, representing 115 Lexington. We are a fast casual restaurant similar to Chipotle, and we've actually already been in the neighborhood for quite some time. We're actually located right now in 111 Lexington, but we're relocating a few doors down to a brand new building, and we're just looking to actually kind of renovate our space. As of now, we've got no known complaints. We will be ADA compliant, and we're applying just for a beer wine. We sell Coronas, kind of like canned beer and canned things like that to customers whenever we sell burrito or products similar like that. But yep, that's our concept. I don't know if there's any other questions.
Great, thank you, Francisco. If there's any members of the public for this application, questions or comments, please give me a sign. Okay, seeing none, I will go to Marco and then Bill.
Thank you so much, but I would like to give you the courtesy to Bill De Angelos. I'm sorry for that. I would appreciate your call, Bill Angelos.
We'll swap it. Let's go Bill first.
Well, thank you, Marco. Appreciate it. I like for the application to approve. A motion to approve the application.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I would like to put I would like to second that motion, but I would like to ask a question to the applicant. Yeah, I know that I'm very familiar with your business. The only problem is in the way that you handle the garbage. The garbage that you handle in the facility that you have right now on the venue is very poor. You know, you got to find out some way to manage the garbage, and the problem is rats. And since the sidewalk is very narrow on Lexington Avenue, you have almost 10 feet. So then you have the grates for the subway ventilation. Then you have for the bicycle rack. So it is very crowded. And the only thing is, I will appreciate if you take care of that part of the business.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm well aware of that area. As I mentioned, I am the head of facility, so that issue, that courtyard area was a big issue for us at the store, along with our tenants next to us as well. We do have a designated space within our restaurant where we will maintain our trash throughout the day. And obviously now with the new New York City law, everything will be taken out in a container and left in a container. And our partners, our haulers provide us with those containers, and we'll make sure to follow those very firmly. Obviously, we take rats and any kind of pest very seriously.
So you are willing to put a stipulation on that?
I don't know what this is my first community board, so I don't really know what that means, but we take it very seriously, and we always act on it.
It means that what you're saying is going to be in writing, that you promise to do that. That's it.
I mean,
it's your choice.
I don't know.
So yeah, so
it
would just be a stipulation to say that you're agreeing to ensure that as you said, that your garbage would be kept in your on premises space, and then only be taken out on required times, as required and being compliant.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, by New York City law, we can't take trash out. You can't leave trash out, otherwise you'll get a fine from the Department of Sanitation.
Okay, thank you.
I believe, yeah.
Thank you. I would like to call the question. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody else is gonna call the question. I'm sorry.
No, you can. Bill had the motion to approve. You've called the question. So if anyone is opposed to calling the question, letting me know. Otherwise, I'll go to the roll. Okay, this is a motion to approve with the stipulation on the trash as discussed. And so if anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, let me know. No, not voting for cause or abstaining. Seeing none, this will go as a 9-0 approval because I see that we were joined by Addison on this one. So thank you very much and good luck on the new location.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Okay, now we're moving on to this is category 2. These are 30-day waivers. So the first one is for Syracuse University, 11 East 61st Street. Do I have the representative or applicant?
Yes, good
Hi.
evening. My name is Andrew Levy. I'm the interim director of the Joseph I. Lubin House, which is an alumni slash university headquarters owned by Syracuse University. We have been, the university has owned 11 East 61st since the mid 1960s. And we're basically just a hub for the university. We house an admissions office, and we put on programs for our alumni, and that's where the license renewal club license is applicable for our programs and events where we host alumni. Those are generally invite only, not open to the general public. So you're talking Syracuse kind of family and friends. No use of outdoor space or the sidewalks. We are 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the summer. All our events are generally done by 8:30 so that we can get all our guests out by that 9 o'clock time as well.
Great. Okay, well, thank you very much. Are there any members of the public with questions or comments on this application? Okay, I'm seeing an applause from Barry. Any other questions or comments? Okay, if not, then I'll go to Bill and then to Marco.
I'd like to call the application, call to approve the application.
Okay, great. You have a second on that one. And Marco, I'll go to you for the question.
Oh, no, I second that motion.
Okay,
And I would like to, if it's, no, I think I'm not going to call the question. Somebody has to call that.
Okay. So Addison, do you want to call the question for us? Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up. Okay, question's been called. If anyone opposes calling the question, let me know. This is a motion to approve. If anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, let me know. If anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining. Robin and, oh, no. Okay, so voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, seeing no one. So this will go as a 10-0 approval, as I see we were joined by Jennifer on this one. So this will go as a 10-0 approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Okay, and now going to our last item on the agenda. This is a 30-day waiver for Avoca. Do I have the representative for Avoca? 1678 First Avenue.
Abraham, I'm sending them a prompt to unmute.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here, Rory, the owner, and I think Danny might be here also.
Rory, I'm not seeing Danny here.
All right, yeah, I thought maybe he was on because he put in our application. Yeah, we just wanted to renew our liquor license. As I say, we'll be open 2 years next month, and it's great to be back open in the neighborhood.
Great. Was it something wrong with the notification? What was the reason for the 30-day waiver?
When I reached out to Danny, I think I didn't know that you had to put it in. I thought it was only 1 month in advance. So I think that's why he put in the waiver.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. You have been in the community for the last years, as you said. So okay, renewal and these things happen. So thank you
Yes.
for before us.
Yeah, for my knowledge, I thought it was only a month. So when I contacted him, then he said it should have been earlier. So it was my error. I apologize.
Completely understood. Okay, do I have any members of the public? Questions, comments on this application? Okay, seeing none, I will go to Addison.
All right, I would like to make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay. You have some seconds, I believe, and then I will go to Marco.
Second the motion. Thank you.
Bill for the question.
Call the question.
Thank you very much. If anyone opposes calling the question, give me a sign. Otherwise, we will go to the roll. This is a motion to approve as presented. So if you're voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, let me know. Voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining. Okay, seeing none, that will also be a 10-0 approval. So thank you very much and continued good luck with Avoca.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Good evening. Okay, so before we adjourn, do we have any new or old business? I know, Marco, you had mentioned a new item, so I will go to you.
Thank you. It caught me my attention so much that lately the sidewalks is just only for the bicycles and for all this kind of situation, putting in jeopardy, especially the seniors, because this is our community have plenty of senior citizens in our community. And the issue right here is sometimes it's hard to pinpoint what is the restaurant that create this chaos, because these restaurants also, they have the third-party delivery, something like that. But look, they hire them and they have the power to say thank you and look for another business to do the right thing. If we don't start doing something, we don't want to regret that saying, why we didn't say before, why we didn't protect the life of our residents. Remember, right now I'm seeing one more thing in the streets. These beautiful children's that this facility has, the babies walking in group of 10 or 8 persons in the side, which is, it filled my heart deeply, by the way. And I enjoy seeing these little angels, and no angelo bills, but angels. and I mean, we have to be very careful with that part. We have to do something. I know also that we don't have the power of enforcement. So we have to figure it out something that I know that we have a document that everybody signed, right. But it's like, maybe yes, maybe not. And it's hard to enforce. We don't know who are they. And we had to figure it out some way to protect the residents of our community. I mean, I'm not against business. I support business, but if the business do the right thing respectfully, and if they profit and they help us, that's perfectly fine. But it's wrong that if we don't do anything, we had to figure out something to do that. And I think that's basically, I would like, if somebody want to comment against me or in favor, whatever it is, but we can have this dialogue and to figure out something against that. Thank you.
Thank you, Margo. Very supportive. Also, I think it would also be good to mention and broach at the Transportation Committee, because I know that's another area that it's kind of related to us. So happy to collaborate there. Next, I'll go to John because I see he has a question or comment.
Yes, I just want to point out that on the same subject, there is an ad hoc organization which has sprung up. It's called NYC EVSA, the New York City or NYC E-Vehicle Safety Alliance. And they want to make a lot of changes to make things safer. In fact, they have a list of 10 things that they'd like to accomplish. I've been to a couple of their meetings and found them informative. I mean, they have elected officials come, they have people who've been victims of accidents. They always have a police presence as well. So people, I know it's not under the auspices of the community board, but people might be interested in having a look at that and seeing if they want to be part of it and could help.
Great. I mean, I also, to the extent it would be appropriate, whether, you know, anyone would want to, whether as a board, we want to maybe have them speak or just talk to them separately to kind of see if we can garner any ideas or suggestions as to how to tackle some of this. And, you know, the key being enforcement, I think, which is the hardest part, you know, because as you said, Marco, you know, there's not a lot of a good way to be able to ascertain whom is, you know, who to ascribe it to because of the third-party deliveries. And I think that's a continued challenge that we have.
May I suggest something?
Yes.
You know, why not we can tell the applicants that offer the deliveries, ask the companies that provide the third-party deliveries to have some vest, at least some colors. So at least we know what is the company that's something wrong, and then we can go against those business that use this service and tell them, look, you have some responsibility. It's not because you hire a third party and there's their responsibility. We have to create something. I think the best idea, what I just came in with that idea, by the way, is to ask each company has a specific color vest. And at least we know who is the company that create these kind of problems. I mean, I think this is doable. And at the time when we sign, we can talk to the applicant before Robert can do that. Say, listen, you have to explain the third party has to have some identification, some color. The color, it will help us to us to say who is those people that do the mistakes, and then we can work in that direction.
Thank you,
Thank
Mark.
you.
Teresa?
Hello there. Hi. My name's Teresa Malloy. I'm a local resident. I live on 76th Street, and I agree with my neighbors that the streets have become increasingly unsafe, not just for senior citizens, but for all citizens in the city. And it's a challenge because all of these cyclists, whether they are on an e-bike or regular bike, or a lot of them are driving mopeds now, they work for a Grubhub or Uber. So it's very difficult. They're not really assigned to a restaurant. So I think that having vests, they'd be wearing so many vests that they'd be weighed down. They wouldn't even be able to move, never mind ride a bicycle. But you know, maybe an idea is that if you are going to if you're going to work for Grubhub or one of these third parties, that you should have a license. You know, you should have a bicycle license.
That's the
And if you had a license, just like when you have a car license, you have a plate that goes on your bicycle or on your moped, that you would be accountable. And if you did run over somebody, or if you did violate a traffic stop sign or a light, that you could be cited for it, and you would be given a ticket. Because right now that it's lawless. There are no regulations. And for that reason, the streets, in my view, have become very, very unsafe. So that would be my idea.
Thank you very much. Back to John.
If I could just add, related to what this lady just said, one of the goals of this organization is to, I'll read it to you, delivery app riders required to install and use front and rear lights, an audible bell, wear reflective vest with personal ID number, and wear helmets. If delivery rider is cited in process of delivery, both the app and the rider will be fined for the violation. Related to that also is one of the goals is to, if someone's caught riding on the sidewalk, that their vehicle will be confiscated. So again, just some of the goals of this organization.
Thank you, John. Yeah, I think some of the challenges we've had with this is because it is almost a nameless entity that we're fighting, because we have the Grubhubs and the Ubers, right? But then they'll say that they're individuals who pick up things are independent contractors, et cetera, and the individuals they'll work for more than one. So even if we have them have vests, as Teresa was saying, well, they'll be wearing the Uber vest, they'll be wearing the Grubhub vest, they'll be wearing the Seamless vest or whatever it is, because they work for multiple organizations at once. So I think if we're ideally legislatively, there would be something that we're able to tie back to the third-party delivery providers, because they're the ones that kind of shirk responsibility through their structure, and then the businesses, the restaurants, they don't have as much bargaining power as we'd like to think that they do. Really, Uber or Grubhub says to them, this is our terms. They're not going to agree to abide to terms because one restaurant asked them to. Maybe if all of the restaurants somehow came together and were able to put pressure, possibly, but I think that's another challenge, because I think there's not much incentive for the Ubers or the Grubhubs to listen to the request of one particular establishment. I'm not saying we shouldn't try, but that is some of the feedback that we've heard from the individual applicants when we have asked them to make the effort. Marco.
Thank you. What Teresa said, it has been discussing for a while. It's nothing new, but it's good that a new member of the community board brings something that we discussed already. And the issue, what I should say is, in our cases, we had to make liable to the restaurant because they hire. If they hire, they are in some way are responsible. I know that is too much, but they had to hire responsible people to do the job. And I think it's probably is better to find liability on the restaurant, so the restaurant will be more careful to select or to demand to the third party delivery to do the right thing. But we had to do something, because yeah, we have a nice, beautiful conversation, but we had to reach to some conclusions, regardless minimal they are or stronger, as Teresa said. I mean, I agree, but we had to prepare something to keep moving forward with this one, because we're not going to end this conversation just only with this point of view and end it right there. We have to keep following this one, because the more that we neglect, that means it's tough, that word neglect, to pay attention to this negligence of this driver, the more likely it's going to be an accident, and then we start complaining. So we have to figure out something, maybe for the next meeting, that have some kind of resolution, and keep discussing about that, because it will be very tough especially for the business, because right away the business is going to say, well, you are killing this small business. We are coming from the pandemic. We are desperately to do some business. But at the end of the day, I think they're doing very well. And I'm very happy to hear that, by the way. But the issue is, we have to find out some common ground that they can deliver it properly, and we can protect the life of the residents, because right now I see it's too much. It's excessive.
Thank you, Marco. I think to grab onto what you're saying about doing something, maybe if between now and the next meeting, if you want to partner with me, or if you want to take the first draft, we can try draft something just to start a conversation, so that for the next meeting we can be that much closer to maybe presenting to having a resolution. So if you don't mind, I'm sorry to interrupt. We have Barry right here. Well, let's go involve Barry. Barry is the master right here. always happy. So okay, so let's do that. I'll start a separate email chain for the three of us. And Barry, sorry to voluntold you, but if you're not interested, let me know. But always happy to have your input, and we can present kind of ideas, topics for. Thank you, Barry. for that, and then we can discuss them at the next meeting and hopefully maybe be able to present a resolution to go to.
Or somebody else they want to participate, I think is welcome. Oh no, sorry. Sorry, Barry.
Well, I mean, so we can start that way. We just get the ball rolling, and then we can get everyone's input after the next meeting. And even if after the next meeting we're not at a resolution, but we have more input, we can just continue to mold from there. But this is a good starting point. So thank you very much, Marco, for bringing this up. Okay. Any other new or old business? If not, I'll welcome a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Great. Okay. Seconded. Thank you very much, everyone. And have a good evening and see you next month.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. We'll do.